Tesla is one of the most valuable car makers in the world. The company has consistently attracted young talent and has some of the most zealous fans out there, but almost everyone ignores the dark side of Tesla. How can a company that's trying to eliminate pollution have a dark side to it? The answer is that Tesla doesn't care about people, only about profits. Hello there, viewers. We'll share with you the dark truth Tesla doesn't want you to know about. So let's get into it right now. The 2020 shareholder meeting perfectly sums up Tesla's complete disinterest in human well-being. 4 shareholder proposals were brought forth to vote on, but 3 are about either the well-being of workers or other laborers. 1. Make bylaw changes based on simple majority instead of a superior majority. 2. Get rid of employee arbitration. 3. Enforce human rights for cobalt miners. Human rights for miners. We'll start with the last one, as it's the most egregious out of them all. Cobalt is one of the most valuable heavy metals that's needed to create lithium-ion batteries that power up things like smartphones and electric cars. There have been numerous confirmed reports that basic human rights are being ignored in the Congo, the most common cobalt mining area in the world. Not only are there dangerous conditions that lead to injuries and death, but child labor is extremely common. Child labor is used in small shafts that reach cobalt-rich deposits that are too small for an adult to fit in. Human rights activists that have been in the area describe horrible, life-threatening conditions for cobalt miners. The heavy metal itself is highly toxic, and there's little to no safety precautions. Terrence Collinsworth, the man representing the shareholder proposal, even mentions children being killed and maimed with multiple lost limbs, and yet, the board recommended a vote against additional oversight in mining sites that have already agreed to ensure human rights. Human rights for workers. Tesla has been in the news for many years regarding poor working conditions in its gigafactories that make batteries and EVs. Just last year, a judge ruled Tesla violated labor laws by actively blocking union organizations. During the shareholder meeting, a proposal to eliminate arbitration was put forth. On the face of it, arbitration sounds pretty good. That means fewer legal fees, which means fewer legal fees for both sides and a much faster resolution compared to being stuck in courts for years. But the main benefit for companies to force employees into arbitration and ban lawsuits is that it's private. There are no public records of any misdeeds committed by the company. So if someone suffered discrimination or sexual harassment while they were at Tesla, they would have to go into arbitration instead of open court. Few former employees have come out against Tesla, but the few that have are sure that they're not the only victims. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to hit like and subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated. In addition, workers at the factories are overworked and undervalued with recent manufacturing sprints to meet tight deadlines, leading to 24 hours of back-breaking labor for some workers. Many workers regularly work 12 hours a day, 6 days a week to meet the company's unrealistic promises. Amazon has received harsh criticism of its warehouse workers, but Tesla takes a similar approach with its factory workers. A former Tesla engineer that wished to stay anonymous said, "They're trying to drive home that if you want to work for a company that will give you enough time to do your job, then this isn't the place. I came from a background where process was a good thing. At Tesla, the time it took to say the word process was too long." Reports also indicate Tesla underreports injuries to have an excuse to push workers harder. Elon Musk said at the company's shareholder meeting in June 2017, "We're well on our way to an injury rate that's less than half of the auto industry." Reports refute that claim and indicate Tesla actually has a slightly higher injury rate compared to the industry average. Prevent major change. As it stands, Tesla is in need of an overhaul in the way that it does business and how it treats humans. Unfortunately, leadership including Elon Musk is happy to keep pushing aside human rights in favor of profits, so it falls on the shareholders to hold leadership accountable. But any change in the company bylaws or procedures currently takes a supermajority vote of shareholders that must exceed 66.6% instead of a simple majority of just above 50%. The extra 16.6% doesn't sound like a lot, but makes a huge difference when almost 40% of shareholders don't vote. Last year, the same proposal to allow a simple majority instead of a supermajority to make changes to the company's structure had roughly 60% support, but couldn't pass the supermajority, and the proposal didn't pass. We've seen this playbook before, where those in power rig the system to keep themselves in power. The simplest solution is to get the remaining 40% to vote, but those shares are owned by Wall Street, which either doesn't care or will never vote on something that will decrease their profits. The majority of people who only know Tesla as the world's leading EV company have no idea about anything Tesla has done and will likely continue doing, but that's because they spend so much of their time and effort covering up their path to success. Tesla has invested a lot of time and effort to ensure they can continue to operate as they please, and the human cost it takes to be Tesla is largely ignored. Make no mistake though, Tesla will not suddenly start caring about people when they get bigger. In fact, the problems will only get bigger as they do.